if I could bake your dream person, we wouldn't be having this conversation because I would be sitting on my private island. Throw the lists out the window. You don't meet your partner through a list. If I look at my husband, that it's very few elements that he would tick, and you meet the person, and you connect with them, and they can look very different from what you thought, but you feel there is something going on.
Welcome to Challenges of a Matchmaker. I am your host, Shai Tesler, and I am excited to have you watching today. For those who are new to the channel, Challenges of a Matchmaker is a series which we sit down with matchmakers and relationship experts to discuss the real challenges behind the work. In every episode, we explore three areas: awareness and coaching, helping people recognize when they actually need guidance. The second is preserving relationship, why new relationships often fail apart, and what does it take to make them last. And the third and last one is the operation. The behind the scenes challenges involve running a matchmaking business. Today, my guest is Claudia Neumeister. She is the founder of a boutique matchmaking company called Lux Dates, a scientific dating and a relationship coach. Claudia, thank you for being here. A pleasure to have you. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, my name is Claudia Neumeister. I'm based in Luxembourg. Luxembourg, if you don't know it, it's a teeny tiny country between Germany, France, and Belgium. And it's really in the heart of Europe, where also the famous Schengen Agreement was signed, which allows Europeans or members of the EU to travel freely across borders. So that's where I operate.
Nice. And can you tell me about your how long you been a matchmaker?
It depends on how you look at it. If you the first match that I created was when I was 17.
Oh,
So I've been a matchmaker pretty much all my life. I just haven't done it professionally. So I was matching a lot of my friends, and I created marriages, family trees, and they have children, and so that's all great. Professionally, I come from human resources. I worked as a recruiter in various levels of seniority, and as a recruiter, I also brought people together with companies. So I was a matchmaker already then, and I just love connecting people. And if you were to meet me in a networking setting or so, I would make sure that I would introduce you to somebody who could be of interest to you. So I just love connecting people. And about, yeah, 9 years ago, I decided to leave the corporate world, go back to university, get a degree in psychology, and then started this boutique matchmaking firm called Lux Dates.
wow, it sounds like a very brave step that you did, leaving everything, going to study, following your heart.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Uh, when I introduced you, it says scientific dating and relationship coach. Can you explain about the scientific?
Sure, sure. So the problem with the coaching world is it's not a protected profession. So everybody can call themselves a coach. Everybody, even my dog could call himself a coach. And uh, you do have several certification institutes that teach you about coaching, and I have a couple of certifications. So my first real so first of all, I have a psychology background. So I believe in science, and I like to support what I say with scientific evidence. Um, Then I did a coaching training according to the standards of the International Coaching Federation, ICF, and this is one of the most respected training programs for coaches. Again, it's a very rigorous training where you have to conform to ethical standards, and you really get tested in how well you coach. So I have that. And then on top of that, there is an institution. I don't know if you heard about them. It's called the Global Love Institute, formerly known
Yeah,
as the Matchmaking Institute. They're based in New York, and
yeah.
they run a program with one of the top psychologists when it comes to long-term relationships, and that's Dr. Terry Orber. And she is, as I said, she's a psychologist, and she runs the um, one of the longest longitudinal studies on relationship happiness. And the study has been running for, I think, 30 years or so. So there's just a lot of knowledge what makes relationships work. And Terry has designed a course for the Matchmaking Institute that trains dating and relationship coaches with a scientific angle, and I'm a participant, or I have the certification of that course, so I took that.
Wow.
Hmm.
Um,
So I know what
it
I
sounds
hope I know
amazing.
what I'm talking about a little bit.
Listen, I'm sure you know what I read your articles. I see what you are writing, the depth that you go into relationship. I'm sure you know more than a lot what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. I hope so. It's something, and you mentioned the writing. It's if you go on social media, there's just so much noise on relationships,
Yeah,
and it's very black and white, and it's very one-dimensional. So I hope with my writing I can add some nuance to the topic, and look at things from a different angle, because what I have to say is very counterintuitive if you follow only Instagram or so. So it's
yeah,
very
yeah,
nuanced. Mm.
yeah. And I read some of your articles and some of your posts. Definitely, I'm learning from matchmakers. I'm learning for you. I'm learning every day.
Yeah, there's a lot of smart people in the matchmaking community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. I want to start with the questions. Okay, and the first question it's about awareness and coaching, and the best. It's important to me. Like what all of these three topics are really close to my heart because I was single for many years and I wasn't ready for a relationship. And and if someone say go to see a matchmaker, go to see someone, do some course, so I neglected. How do you tell someone like me when I was single? If someone like me comes to you when I was single, who is not ready for a relationship, and I know a lot of matchmakers will not take an unready person, uh, how do you show him that there is a lot of work to be done also before you introduce him to someone?
Yeah, so what I do, and I think what many matchmakers do, is I know everybody in person, and my process is I have a pre-qualifying call for 15 minutes just to get a feel for who the person is, And then I invite them for a 90-minute intake interview, and I go into their background, how they grew up, what was the relationship of their parents like, and did they have siblings, what are their values, are they looking for in a partner, are they a risk taker or are they cautious, how has their life developed, and for me, and I said I rely a lot on science, but I also, and this is very unscientific, but I also rely on my intuition, and I need to feel people. I need to feel your energy, and that's very important with how I met you. So that would be the first step. I would have a deep discussion with you. Um, a lot of people who I meet, and I spend a lot of time actually sending people away because I can't help them when they are at a certain point in their lives. So what does that mean? So, for instance, uh, when somebody is coming fresh out of a failed relationship, there's often a lot of bitterness, and I hear people talking in stereotypes, and that's not a good position to be in, to meet somebody new and open your heart. So I wouldn't necessarily take them on as a matchmaking client, but I would take them on as a coaching client and work with them on the issues that they have, and work through the pain, and work towards being open. So that would have been
Mm.
something that I would do with you if you had asked me. The trouble is, a, l- a lot of people think, and I can understand the notion. They think I know what's best for me, and you, as a matchmaker, you must provide what I want. And my standard answer is, if I could bake your your dream person, we wouldn't be having this conversation because I would be sitting on my private island. I would be so rich. I would be on my private island in the Caribbean. I wouldn't have to work. So I can only work with real people. I can't produce a fantasy. And it's sometimes very hard to get that notion across to people who know themselves deeply, or they think they do, that what they want and that what they think is best for them is actually not the best for them. So I would then
Yeah.
go into past relationships. We would look for patterns. And talking about patterns, a lot of times I hear people say, "Oh, but they are completely different, completely different. One was tall and dark, and the other one was a little chubby and blah blah." And it's like, no, this is not. We're not talking about that part of a pattern. Um, we're talking about how the relationship was, and how you were. And just the other day, I had an intake meeting with a client, and she was talking about her marriage and how it was all terrible. And then she said, and but I had this after that I had this fantastic relationship, and it was the love of my life and blah blah blah. And I said, so why did it fail? And she mentioned a couple of things, and the pattern was that she didn't know how to put boundaries. That was the connecting link between these two men. And yes, they were completely different, but she didn't see that. So again, I would look at patterns in your relationships with you, and then I would ask you how the strategy that you have had in the past has served you so far. How successful have you been?
And you ask a question for a man who's seeking help.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So probably not best, right?
A man seeking help. No, I love it when people are open for help, because one of the and every matchmaker who coaches will tell you that the people come to matchmakers with the idea that we can provide the dream person, that we're just covered that this is not true. We can provide a real person
Yeah.
that you can have a connection with, but may not be your dream person because dream person doesn't exist. And there's often not an openness to being coach because people think they know best. Um,
Yeah,
but if
yeah,
somebody says, I'm
yeah.
open
How do you,
to you helping me, that's great. Then let's do it.
yeah, and if someone not open to being
Yeah.
coach, like how do you even try to reflect to
Sure.
him why, or you just say no, no, it's okay.
Well, there's a saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And it's really as simple as that. I give my perspective. Um, and people can say I'm wrong, stupid. It's okay, and that's really, and maybe I am. I don't know, but it, if somebody has that kind of philosophy and is rigid, it's not it. Then I'm not a good person to be with, to work with, because the people who work best with me and the best matches I create and the best coaching results that I have is people who are genuinely open. So open mindset is super important. And maybe they work best with a different matchmaker. There's a lot of us out there, but not with me.
So maybe a good tip for people will be to be
Yeah,
open-minded.
it's what I always say. The people who
Yeah,
have the best success in finding a new partner, if they're serious about finding a new partner, are the ones who are open-minded. Because what we do as matchmakers, we people come to me with a list, tall, dark, handsome, I don't know, petite, blonde, blue-eyed. Well, but they have certain notions of what a partner should be like, and this is also one of the problems. And we matchmakers, we listen to it, and then what I do is always I give you a reality check. So if you came to me and said, "Oh, I'm looking for Miss Supermodel who is kind. She must have a good job. She must be a good mother. She must understand me. It's best if she never had any sexual contact before." And I'm making a little bit of a parody. But if you came to me and I would say, I'm sure I could find somebody who you could build a life with, but that particular person doesn't exist, or at least I don't know them. I also wouldn't know where to find them. And even if I found them, I'm not sure if they would actually want to be with you because they might be looking for something different. So I give you a reality check. And for
yeah,
some people, it's a bit of a rude awakening, because they think,
yeah,
oh, I have all these possibilities, and yes, there are a lot of possibilities if you're open, um, but it's not endless, and there is more than one person that we can build a life with, but the number of people you can at this point in time, connect with at this point in time, it's finite.
yeah. And also, if you do find this person for him, and if she do like him, it doesn't promise that they have a good connection for a long time, right? It's like the odds are so
Yeah,
rare.
it's that, and that's the whole thing. Finding somebody that you can connect with. And the other day, I matched a client, together with a colleague. We collaborated, and he called me, and this is one of those high net worth individuals. Like he could have anybody. But he came to me to help him find a special person. And he called me, And this, he's a Scandinavian, very, very factual, calm, cool, collected. And he called me. He was close to tears. He could hardly speak. And he said, "You know what? We clicked. This is beautiful. I found a person and we just clicked." And this is the kind of connection that you're looking for, that you connect with on many levels, into spiritually, sexually,
Yeah,
intellectually. You just found your match. Yeah,
this is
it's
beautiful.
that's it's nice when you hear that kind of emotion in somebody's voice, and you know that you changed
Yeah,
somebody's life, and that's fantastic. Yeah,
yeah. I I have one match
I
under my
know.
belt.
Yeah.
I told
Well,
you
you
about
you
that.
you just told me
You
where
know,
you are, and that.
no, like my girlfriend and I introduced
Oh,
her best
oh
friend
yeah,
with someone I know, and they got
fantastic,
married. We've been in the marriage last
fantastic.
month, and it was like the feeling. And you're doing this
Yeah,
for a
it's the
living. It's like you are always on adrenaline.
it's true, and coming from recruitment, any recruiter you talk to will tell you this. When you have found a perfect candidate for a company, you get this recruiter's high. You're like, yes, and then
Yes,
you do this with somebody's life partner, and it's a fantastic feeling. Yeah, it's like
it's
a
bigger.
adrenaline, dopamine, everything push. Yeah.
What will be like if you have to give takeaway for people? What will it be?
Um, I said a lot of people have a strategy and they think that it's fantastic, and then I asked the question, so how has your strategy worked for you so far? And clearly it hasn't worked so
Mm,
well, because otherwise they wouldn't be sitting with me. So I would ask them to throw their lists out the window. You don't meet your partner through a list. If I look at my husband, that it's very, very few elements that he would tick, and you meet the person, and you connect with them, and they can look very different from what you thought, but you feel there is something going on. Some people call it chemistry. I don't like the term chemistry or spark so much, because it can be misleading and it can lead us the wrong track. But you feel, when you're a little bit more aware, you
yeah.
feel that there is a connection, and you think like, oh yeah, this is somebody who I could imagine um, getting to know better.
Spending my rest of my
Yeah, or
life with.
at least getting to know this person a little bit better. I'm curious. Who are you? Oh, I'm interested. So that's
Yeah.
what I would advise people. So, throw your lists out the window. They didn't serve you. And consider opportunities, because people think it's so hard to meet somebody, and yeah, it can take a while until you meet somebody, but we're meeting people every day in all walks of life, and if you're a little bit open and allowing a connection to establish, then it gets a lot easier to meet somebody, and you have more to choose from. So consider also unlikely sources of introductions, and
I
yeah,
like.
and
I like.
do
I,
what you love. Be the person you want to be with. So be the lighthouse. Be the whatever, the shining person. Do what you love. Do it with many, and then people will come into your orbit, and then relationships, they show themselves. And it maybe it's not somebody exactly in that orbit, but it could be somebody's brother or sister or girlfriend or you know, whatever, aunt. Um, so it's important that you live the best life that you can, and then people will come. Yeah,
Will come to you.
yeah,
It's beautiful. Okay, moving to the next section, which is like the next section is preserving
yeah,
relationship. And my question here, what are the most common mistakes you see new
yeah.
couples make when they start a relationship?
Um, a lot of people think that love is the magic potion, and love will conquer everything. So we have this romantic idea, and it's true. Love is strong. It's a strong force, but love is a conscious decision that I make every day for my partner. And so when two people are in a new relationship, they see everything through rose-colored glasses, and they make a lot of projections for the person, and um, they attribute a lot to the person that the person may not even have. So, for instance, they might think, let's say two people fall in love, and one is very ambitious in his or her career, and the other one, for the other one, it's not so important. And then the ambitious person will think, well, he or she, I'm sure they will change, and if they see, blah, blah, blah. And they never realize that um, career is maybe not so important for this person. They have an income, but it's just not one of the driving forces. And then once the rose-colored glasses become a little bit clearer, and the relationship develops, then all of a sudden there is disappointment and resentment because the person is not who we want them to be. And it's completely unfair to the other person. Um, and so that is an important thing that I think couples need to do. They need to communicate, and a lot of people show and tell us who they are, and we should believe them, and just accept the person for who he or she is, and not try to change them, not try to project our own desires onto the person, and ask them for things that they never signed up for in the first place. So that is one thing. Then I think communication, and everybody says communication, and I know that, but it's it's important to um, get to know the person. And you would be surprised by how many couples have been living together for years and years and years, and they have no idea about the dreams or aspirations of the other person, what drives them, what motivates them, what they fear, um, what they wanted to be when they were a small child. What like, who are they? Who is this person? So I think it's important to have these conversations and see uh, where you want to go. Another very important aspect um, is children. Does the person want to have children? And in my experience, that is one of those non-negotiables. And
Yeah,
I really don't know any couple that has been long-term compatible where the children question has been diametrically opposite. One wants and the other doesn't. It just doesn't work. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And better to know those things from
Yeah,
the beginning.
because if you then hold on to this relationship which is doomed, um, you're wasting your own time, you're wasting the other person's time, and you are blocked for the right partner, because the right partner will be out there, but he or she can't enter your life because you're with somebody else. and I say this on really on fundamental questions like children, for instance. I'm not saying this for any small conflict that you should give up a relationship just because somebody said the wrong thing, but the big questions, that there needs to be alignment.
When people start dating, how often do you connect with them? How often like you speak with them? And when do you
Yeah,
start?
but I start with the intake meeting. Then before they go on a date, I give them a little bit more context. If they need, I give them a little bit of a pep talk. Sometimes I get the feedback from a date about another person saying, and I realize, there's something that he or she is not doing right. For instance, if somebody overshares on a first date. And I get the feedback, oh, he told me everything, including whatever the appendicitis of his mother. It's like, oh, this is too much information. So I would then talk to the person and say, okay, but perhaps not overshare. I would explain how building trust works. Um, so I become involved at that stage. Then clearly the feedback stage, and there I have a principle that I only share feedback where I think the other person can actually learn something. So like this oversharing thing. But if somebody would say to me, well, I didn't like her blouse that she was wearing. It's like, come on. Yeah, it's not something that I would share with another person. So I only share things where I think that these are really important. And then,
Yeah. And if this is the only
yeah, if
problem,
you
it's
the
like,
only
okay,
problem,
it's good for
then
you.
if you have a problem,
It's
if that is your
fixable.
only problem, let me tell you, I know why you haven't been successful in your dating journey. Um, then in the so and once a couple has met a couple of times and they want to get to know each other, but I take a step back. So I'm not the third person in the relationship. That is not my role. And
Got it, got it, got it.
I when I hear then that there is a hiccup, I once had this. The couple is now married, but in the early stages of their relationship, she was very reserved, and he couldn't make sense of it. So he called me. He said, "What's up with that woman?" And I just explained to him that it's just the way she is. She needs a little bit more time to open up. It's just who she is, and just to give it a chance. And yeah, as I said, they are now married, so I get involved in that, and then every now and then I just check in to see if people are still together. They usually still are, and if not, then I take them back into my network. But um, that is how I'm involved. If somebody wants, they can book a session with me on um, things that a new couple should be aware of, and also project themselves into the future. That's a beautiful coaching session to take a couple through coaching into their future, the life that they want to build. Um, but only if people want
Mm.
that. So if yeah, nobody wants
Oh,
it,
it's
then it's
beautiful. You're taking them end to end, right? You're taking them from singles to,
yeah,
let's go step before. Problematic singles who need coaching, you do coaching, you find them a
yeah,
partner, you got them married, and then you help them
yeah.
sustain the
If they
relationship.
want, yeah,
And do, yeah, that's amazing. If there, in this section of preserving relationship, if there is one key message or lesson that you think it's important to say to couples
yeah.
who are beginning?
One, what you the life that you had before you met your partner is over. Now you are in a new life together. and you can't
Yeah.
you can't have the life that you had before. Let's say you were whatever, hanging out with your friends every night and having a bachelor's type of lifestyle. You being in a relationship doesn't mean you can't see your friends any longer, but it just means that you can't have this kind of life any longer because there is somebody else. Or if for women, for instance, they do a lot of charity and go into sports, so women's lives are usually very, very full. Um, and that's one of the challenges I have with women. It's like, okay, which part of your very busy life do you take out so you can actually have a couple relationship? And it takes time. Being in a relationship is time intensive, and something I hear from women my age, so 50 and older, is they have this full life. And I said, okay, so should the man fit? And they say, oh yeah, I would like to see him once or twice a week. And it's like, no, this is not working. A man doesn't want that. Usually a man, if he's committed and he really wants a relationship, they want to be with the woman. And so that's one thing. The life that you had is over, and you're about to build something new and wonderful and amazing with that person, and be open for whichever course life takes to you.
Got it. This is an important lesson, right? Things
Yeah.
to remember. Sometimes we are very attached to our habits,
Yeah.
to what we know and what we do, and it's so hard to
Yeah.
let him go of them. Yeah. The last part of this interview is the operational part of running a matchmaking business. What are the main operational challenges that tend to slow down your growth?
I also collaborate with other matchmakers, but ideally, and there's a couple of people I trust. I trust their judgment, and they trust mine. But so ideally, I need to speak to the person, him or herself, to get a feel for who they are and whether they could be
Mm.
a good match. Yeah.
Do you have another challenge, maybe something more operational?
Well, certainly systems is a big domain.
Yeah,
And I know that is your area of expertise. So certainly
yeah,
systems, yeah.
sure, for sure.
It's a little bit of a sore point with a lot, a lot of
Yeah,
matchmakers. I don't
but
know
it's
why.
okay. Like
Yeah.
it's like people lives, and it's like you really care for them.
Yeah, yeah. It's I think we are we have seen systems also come up, and then we put all our information on there, and then for whatever reasons the system closes down. You're kidding. I think a lot of matchmakers, we like to, we're very individualistic, and we like to keep everything ourselves, and we're a little bit weary. And there's also some real elements like data protection. So for instance, in operating in Luxembourg, I have to operate under the Luxembourgish data protection law, etc. And yeah, we just we're dealing with super super sensitive information, and we're hesitant to to share
Put
it
it
with
in
anybody.
some database. No, I
Yeah, yeah,
understand it. I
yeah.
understand it. I understand it completely. Thank you so much, Claudia, for joining
Thank
us
you.
today
Thank
for
you. Thank you
challenges
for
of a
having
mate.
me. Thank you.
I learned a lot.
So did I.
Uh, it's good to have you. And if someone wants to find you, where they can find you.
Yeah, they can find me on www.luxdates.lu. That's my domain. LU stands for Luxembourg. You can find me on LinkedIn, Claudia Neumeister. There I share my weekly newsletter, Behind Closed Doors, the secrets of a matchmaker, and also on Instagram and with Lux Dates and on Facebook. So all the socials. I'm not difficult to find. I'm easy to find. The best way to contact me is to send an email.
I will put all the details, the email, all the way to find you and contact you
Thank you.
on the video description. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you. So did I.
Thank you.
Speak soon. Ciao. Bye
Bye.
bye.